They had a couple on line. Not a whole lot going on. Not back to.
We're already.
I'm seeing great. Had online.
I would like to call a meeting to order. It's a minute after 7. I'm Dan Swisher. I'm sitting in for Nancy Kovac, Council President. And we want to call a meeting to order. And I'm going to read a reflection if we could stand. We gather together to make decisions for our community. May we use only our best skills and judgment, keeping our minds and hearts impartial. Let us always act in accordance with what is best for our community and our fellow citizens. Pledge of Allegiance.
To the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, please.
Council President Nancy Kovac is absent. Council Vice President Daniel Swisher.
Here.
William Oakes.
Here.
David Seiler.
Here.
Kevin Brannon.
Here.
Lisa Chartle. Here. Jeremy M.
Here.
Mayor Baumgarten.
Here.
Emily O'Malley.
Here.
Michael Woods.
Here.
Dennis Mayando.
Here.
Ken Truver. Paul Whitmire.
Here.
Jason Stanton is absent.
Okay, next order of business is public notice. An executive session was held this evening at 6 p.m. for the purpose of collecting info or educating agency members about an issue. Next one is revisions or additions to the agenda. I don't think we have any of those tonight. Public comment on agenda items only. Anybody? Okay. Public presentations.
Vice President, we do not have any this evening.
Great. Approval of minutes. I move to approve the January 13th, 2025 Borough Council Business Meeting minutes.
I'll make.
First, second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Under administration, item B, the 2025 pension fund COLAs for both uniform and non-uniform pension plans. These are recommended to us by Gerard, our pension service provider. And their recommendation is to increase payments for those who are not at lifetime maximums by 2.6%. Any discussion on that? No? Okay. I move to authorize the borough manager to execute approvals to Gerard for 2025 COLA increases of 2.6%.
I'll make the motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. We mentioned under bid awards, contracts and resolutions, resolution number 763, 2025 fee schedule. We're still working on that. We'd like to have a final document on that come the second meeting in February. The next is ordinance number 941, no parking on Hamilton Road. Any discussion on that?
Required that you have a public hearing, so you would open the floor for anybody from the public. You would open a public hearing so that anybody from the public could speak on that. Take any action on it.
Okay. We start with the public hearing. Anybody have anything to say about parking on Hamilton? No.
Record should reflect that there was no one appeared to comment publicly, so now it's appropriate for council to discuss and take action if they so desire.
I think after we heard from the engineering firm, Lennon Smith Solar last meeting, that they did a traffic study and they fully recommend. And to tell you the truth, I could have sworn there was a big area between somebody's driveway and the white line. I drove up there the other day. There's no area at all. It's right up against practically the curve. So Anybody else? Okay, we move to enact ordinance number 941, establishing a no parking zone along Hamilton Road from Route 88 to the borough boundary.
I'll make the motion.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Thank you, Dennis.
Now I have a question. How long will it take to make this enforceable?
That's a question for the manager, but I don't know that we have the signs that we're going to need. Take quite a few signs, so.
And I'm sorry, I didn't hear the question.
I was kind of directing it at Chief, but he bounced it over to you. How long before this will be enforceable? Like, I mean, I know it's enforceable. Once the
As
signs
soon as
go
they
up.
put the signs up, but that's a question for the manager insofar as when Public Works can get to it, so.
Vice President, I would concur with what the chief has to say. I would also probably work with staff to do a little bit of outreach prior to putting this in place, just so folks know what's coming. So we'll put a plan together.
Okay. Item C, resolution number 765, compensation for the elected real estate tax collector. The tax collector has requested an increase in compensation from $2.50 per line to $3 per line, commencing January 1st of next year, 2026. If I could just say real quick that we did some investigating, and that per line amount has not been raised since 2013. So, and by the way, the going to $3 a line will equal what the school district is paying her also. So,
Could you explain what a line is?
So that's per bill. So every bill I send out, which I can't remember the number up to, it's 3,200 or something.
So that doesn't include the escrow or, okay,
Doesn't include interim bills, it doesn't include anything else.
okay.
It does include escrow because it goes to the mortgage company.
Oh, okay.
Telesale or Donald Baumgartner.
anybody else? Okay, we move to adopt resolution number 765, establishing the compensation for the elected real estate tax collector.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? The motion carries. Okay, council committee reports, community engagements, events.
I don't have anything.
Okay. Finance. Or I thought I heard something. Under
Did hear somebody?
finance. Oh, here, so. I just had one quick question. Today's came too late, today's check register, but the previous check register, of course, I don't have the date in front of me,
17th.
17th, but I had a question. Did we get a new phone for the Public Works? A new cell phone?
Yeah, Bob switched on to plans at there. It's on. It was a cheaper rate for it. Than what
Okay.
they were.
Okay. And I noticed there was a price and then there was, I can't think of the word. You remember it?
Mr. Vice President, if I could help, I
that's
believe
something
that Bob transferred to AT&T FirstNet.
Yes, sir.
And so there was a installation fee and a
That's
fee associated with that transfer. For those that don't know, that access gives him and other first responders priority cell phone usage.
great. Did you have anything?
I did not.
other on that?
I had a couple questions that the manager was able to address prior to
Great.
the public meeting.
And that was for both of them or
That
just the
was, no, it
17th?
was for both,
Both,
17th and the 27th.
So we're good with both, the check registers, whatever those two dates were.
17th
I guess,
and the 27th.
December 24 financial report. We don't really get to do anything with that.
Mr. Vice President, that report is in your green books for council to review.
Okay. And then the bill pay list. Move to authorize the payment of all outstanding bills and invoices.
I'll make that motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. HR personnel policy,
Nothing at this time, thank you.
okay. Planning codes. Looks like there's a vacancy on planning commission.
I have nothing at this time. Nobody's jumping at the vacant.
Public safety, fire department.
Members, residents of Castle Shannon.
Everybody's having a great year so far. Your firefighters have had a busy month this far. We've attended 30 calls for the month of January, with 5 more days to go. 21 of them being in Castle Shannon, Baldwin Township. Assisted our neighbors out 7 times with mutual aid. Our in-house training for the month of January, Monday, January 13th. Firefighters reviewed chimney fires. They learned the basics of chimney design and construction, and were taught some new methods of extinguishment. So Lebanon firefighters had a pretty good program. I asked our training officer to get Mount Lebanon to come down and put the class on for us. So that's what we did one evening. The following Monday on the 20th, firefighters reviewed our 4 and 5 gas meters on how to use for determining levels of carbon monoxide, oxygen, and LELs. Also reviewed the ProPack phone system that I purchased late last year, and also the MDTs that we're installing in all our offices. Outside training, 5 members gave up 2 weekends and completed 40 hours of officer command class. That was hosted by the Pennsylvania State Fire Academy. Just finished the class yesterday, so it was a good class. I was one of the 5 that took it. Learned a lot of good stuff. It was a total of 30 participants. The class basically sold out. It's hard to get into this class. It goes real quick. So it was a really good class. But I was able to get in. So. Some miscellaneous items. We really have no events planned for January. No new members for the month of January. A couple of us went down to check out the new engine, the engine rescue engine, last week. It's coming along nicely. We're still on track for an April delivery. This will be replacing a 1997 Pierce rescue engine, which is about 28 years old this year. So we're well due for a new rescue engine. If you turn on the news lately, it's kind of like just a public safety announcement. You've seen a lot of house fires. I think we've had just in the area 8 fires, 7 deaths, fatalities in these house fires. So just asking the residents and council members to, please check your smoke detectors. Replace the batteries if they need replaced, and there's a manufacturing date on the back of your smoke detector. After 10 years, it's recommended that you replace them. Actually, I just did mine yesterday. They were 10 years old, so they're manufactured in 2015. So working smoke alarms still to this day save lives, gives you that extra time in getting out of the house or alerting you to the possibility of smoke or fire. So a couple other things. If you're using space heaters, I know we had a cold snap this past week and we're getting into warmer temperature. If you're using space heaters, please don't plug them into extension cords or power strips. It's a heavy load on that, and that's not recommended for the extension cord. So that has been talked to. A couple of the fires have. There were space heaters being used and they were left alone overnight. So other than that, I appreciate everything you guys do for us, and looking forward to our public safety meeting early next week.
Hey, Chief,
Yes.
how are the garage doors? Are they
Garage doors.
fixed?
I'll let Boz speak on the drive.
One problem was solved in regards to the doors not closing all the time.
Right.
The issue with the water migrating through the glass or the glaze is they were down here to take a look at it. They've come up with a program to solve that issue, but it can't be done until the weather breaks. Hoping that they get 2 teams down there, they're hoping that they could do this in 2 days. First one will determine if they can get the other 2 doors knocked out in another day. But that's where we are on that.
Thanks, Joe.
Chief, can I ask you, the new truck you're getting in April, the truck it's replacing, what are you going to do with that? You said it's 28 years old.
28 years old. We're gonna put it up for sale. Hopefully we can get some buyers. There's a couple other things we're thinking about doing, so we're hoping to sell it.
Do you have any idea what it's worth?
We're gonna start advertising it at $80,000. So pumpers, our last pumper that we brought in was just over $410,000. That was in 2004. The latest pumper we're buying is at just a little over 700,000 that we signed for 4 years ago. If we would buy that same pumper, it's well over $1 million. So prices have skyrocketed. The wait times have gone from our last pumper took it an estimated 9 months to build. This one's coming on its 4th year, or will be 4 years by the time it's delivered.
Yeah, well, that's all we continue to hear. The chief comes up and needs a new vehicle, it's through the roof. Same way at MRTSA. Any kind of new vehicle.
Yeah, they're recommending that they're still a 3-year build. So if you're taking them out of signing, they estimate 3 years just for an engine.
Okay.
A truck is like 2 years.
Very well. Thank you.
Do you name those trucks? Do you name them?
We do.
Okay. Do you have a contest for anybody to submit names?
We've got names.
Oh, okay.
Established already.
I don't know if it was carryover or.
Already sold and it'll be replaced with it.
Can't get rid of the greenhorn.
I just,
Can't
I'm
do it.
just looking for the community to get involved and maybe, get a ride on a fire truck if you name it.
Police, chief,
I have nothing for you.
you have nothing? Okay. Public Works?
Nothing really to report other than it's been a fairly active month with the snow and stuff. So I know the guys have been busy maintaining equipment, things like that, but no major, issues with anything. So,
Do we have enough salt?
but I don't think anybody does. So maybe
To your question, Mr. Vice President, we've been talking with Cargill and have been working with them to get shipments of salt in. So
Okay.
we have been actively working on that.
You've done a great job, Public Works has.
Boy, that's the truth.
Yes.
Board reports, Allegheny County DA, what's that?
Borough Association.
Who?
Borough.
Borough Association, thank you. Yeah, that's normally Nancy and she's not here, so we'll pick that up next to meeting. Civil Service, they want us to accept Civil Service Commission meeting minutes of January 13th, 2025. Anybody have any questions on that?
Why would we accept those?
Just like any other faction that deals with us, we have to accept their.
I don't
like
recall doing that last
planning.
year.
Yeah, I don't know how often they meet.
Mr. Chair, I don't, Clerk, Mr. Solicitor, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think there's any action council needs to take. They just received them.
That's correct.
Oh, okay.
You're just receiving them. You're not taking any particular action.
No vote.
All right.
Great. So let's cross out that motion down below there, unless you guys didn't have it on yours. Economic development.
Nothing yet. I think we're waiting, Mr. Manager, for the report to come back in from the grant that we got in regards to the Vidy's property, as far as what their suggestions might be moving forward. I think that's supposed to come next month.
Mr. Vice President, the solicitor and I are still working on the language for the agreement with the consultant. And once we have that language refined, we'll be getting that document signed, and then we'll be moving forward with the study. We recommended to the consultant that we actually extend the time period
I see.
that was originally called out. And so we thought it'd be best just to provide a little bit of a buffer to make sure that we can get the work done and get it done correctly.
Thank you. Good.
Library?
Thank you. Good news, we had 2 openings for Board of Trustees, and we had interviews last week. And hopefully we'll be introducing 2 new board members in our February meeting. Also, I do believe the library was hiring for a part-time position, and I just checked the website and that is down. So I do believe they've possibly hired their part-time person. So that's great news as well. The cookbook is this Wednesday, January 29th. And then it's awful cold out, so don't cook for yourself. Go out January 30th at Texas Roadhouse and mention the library for them to receive some funds for support. There's a full calendar for February events. Check out the website, or the easiest thing to do is just sign up for the weekly emails, and you can get those emails right into your inbox and check out what's going on that week. And there is also a winter raffle that is being held at the library. It has a bunch of fun stuff in it, and I will also be donating a jewelry set that'll have necklace, earrings, and bracelet in it. So great value for, I think, $1 a raffle ticket. So thank you. That's everything.
Just a quick question, please. On that hire, were we replacing someone or was that someone additional? We were looking for information last meeting. We didn't have clarification on whether we were replacing somebody for that new hire or it was.
That is something I don't know. I apologize. I can find out for you and find out who's a replacement.
Might be able to tell.
Aaron left, our part-time person, she left, so it is replacing someone.
Thank you.
And the Board of Trustees, we had 2
Openings.
expired ones, so they were replacements as well.
Okay, Mertz is next. That's me. Neglected to do this at the last meeting, dragged Michael to the first meeting in this month. It was last Wednesday. And of course, we didn't vote on it, so he had to leave the room when there was important other information being passed. So tonight, we're going to actually take care of that. I move to appoint Michael Foot to the Mertz Board, replacing the member whose appointment has expired.
I'll make that motion.
A second. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. You're official now.
Thank you, Mr. Vice President.
You're quite welcome.
Meeting at 9 o'clock.
Shaycog,
Yes, I'll take that. I attended the meeting on the 16th at Baldwin. They were the hosts. Unfortunately, with the weather, there was no presenter and very few attendees, although we did have enough on a Zoom to have a quorum. So traditional meeting, minutes were passed, financial statements were reviewed, and they were approved as well. All the bills were paid. The executive director gave their report. They are in the process of updating the bylaws, as I had said before, along with their website. So they're working on that, as well as a transition for the executive director who's planning on stepping down at some point in the future. There was a committee created to explore looking into a new solicitor for Shaycog. So they're going to give their recommendations coming up in the next couple meetings. And one thing I did find out, interestingly enough, is Shaycog does have access to 12 drones if they're ever needed. And they do have 4 qualified pilots to fly those as well. So if they're ever need a drone to spy on somebody, call Shaycog, I guess. Next meeting is the 20th of February, and that's at Dormont, and that is at 7:30. Thank you.
thank you, Dave. Allegheny County Southwest Tax Collection Committee.
Nothing new to report.
Mayor's report.
Yeah, I wanted to say a few things about our fire department. And I know that these meetings are being broadcast now, so there's more than 2 or 3 people here. I was hoping that a lot of people tune into these things. The what I wanted to say about the Castle Shannon volunteer fire department, that these people are volunteers, they don't get paid. And they have ways to raise money. One of them, of course, was the raffling off the cars, and then they do send out letters during the year for financial support for people to donate. But I don't know the number of people that respond to you guys when you send those tickets out. I live in an apartment building, 38 apartments, and I see a lot of those ticket in envelopes unopened. And then a few have some tickets in there. I don't know if that's any indication of the borough as a whole, but I don't know what percentage of those things are returned. But when I listen every month to the activities that you fellows are involved in, and women too, I'm sure, it just amazes me. People don't know that. We know it because you read it to us. It's the only time I hear about it. But every month, it seems the same. And I don't know how you get these people out there who don't contribute anything to this fire department. When you guys risk your lives for no money just to do it, and the training that you go through. And I've been here a long time, as you all know, and you guys do a great job. That's all I can say is they're all there. They all volunteer. Fire comes, they're there. I know on my street, I don't know how many times during a month, I see the fire truck going up Vermont Avenue, more than one, and with the police cars going as well. And I hear the sirens going all the time in other areas because we live high up. So I know you're out there busy, and a lot of these people have other jobs, but they volunteer as well. And I had a great friend of mine who's now passed away. He was out in the Finneyville area. He was a volunteer fire department guy. And they had an accident going to a fire, and the truck he was in one of the seats that to sit in the back, overturned, and it crushed his leg. So for the rest of his life, he was a young guy at the time. So for the rest of his life, he had a leg that was gimpy and everything else. They couldn't fix it. He was a volunteer. So I don't know how I can reach people, I'm the mayor, so I can talk to everybody. And I'm just saying to those folks out there that may be tuning in on this, that think about it, just think about it. I know a lot of them out there probably watching this don't give a dime to the fire department. The borough helps a little bit, as much as they can. It doesn't come anywhere near what you need to operate that department. So I can only say, I hope the people that are watching this would think about it. And when the next time you receive the tickets for the fire department car raffle, or when you come out and you get the individual letters that ask for more money, you think about it. I don't know what else I can say, but all the years that I've been here, I go way back to Al Feller and even before him. And I was on the board of the library with Al Feller and his wife. But anyhow, Al kind of put the fire department on the map they talked about the Green Hornet and so forth. Everybody knew the Green Hornet. So guys, the president of the fire department is here and the chief of the fire department is here. So God bless you guys. You do a great job. Keep it up. Thank you.
On that same subject, can I ask a quick question? He lives in an apartment building. Mine's a condo building. I get mine in the mail. Does his people get theirs in the mail?
Everybody gets theirs in the mail now.
The raffle tickets, yeah.
Everybody gets theirs in the mail now.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I can't understand why then he would be seeing them from other people.
That was part of my route. And when we did it by, manually, they would have a box in the lobby and everybody would take their tickets down and put them in a box. And instead of me knocking on all the doors, So I would pick up the tickets out of the box.
Okay. Great. How about managers report?
Thank you. On February 6th at 2 PM at the Dormont Municipal Building, Representative Miller will be hosting his annual Economic Development Roundtable. And their office wished for staff to invite council, members of the public who wish to attend to come out and hear presentations from various partner communities. Vicki is currently working on a presentation for the borough, and she and I will be presenting at that forum. So come and hear us give our presentation of the borough.
Great.
Thank you.
How about solicitors report?
I have nothing.
Okay. Real estate tax collector report.
Thank you, Mr. Vice President. Collections for the month of December, $49,865.65. And year-to-date final numbers are $4,969,146.59. And as soon as the last deposit clears the bank, I will give Lori the last check and then the delinquent list. So we'll be closed out in the next week or so.
Thank you.
And then I'll need to be exonerated.
Public comment, non-agenda items, anybody? Okay. All right, how about old business? No old business. How about new business? New business. Well, I guess then we just have to close the meeting then. Need a motion to make an adjournment.
Motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passed.
Not all.
Is there a game, Jerry? Is there a game? You're like running out.
We'll start to tell.
Like-